Right. Let's see what's going on here. Ah, greetings, traveler. No, relax, dear fellow. No, I can understand your concern. You're probably saying, how did I show up and know that you were here before you even managed to knock? Well, let's just say it's a trade secret. Please come in out of this weather. You are more than welcome to come in and share the fire with me. So, my friend, I must give you a word of warning, or not warning, but clarification first. I have a tremendous amount of experience in this crazy old witch's brew that I call a brain. And I've had a lot of experiences of a spiritual nature with organized religion and away from it. So I can speak in spiritual terms in hippie, but I can drift into trade con at the drop of a hat. And I want to emphasize this is not any attempt to convert you to any sort of organized religion whatsoever. No. Like the man said, been there, done that, got the fucking t-shirt. No. How can I tell you what sort of organized religion is best for you? It's impossible. There are very few people that can thrive doing the monk experience like I am, but it's not a sign of disrespect if you don't want to do that, because it's not a path that everyone can take or wants to take or needs to take. So, and it's like you may not be able to comprehend why I'm doing what I'm doing. Well, maybe I can't do it for you either, but I can give you a little bit of guidance to help you on your path. Really, whatever you're doing that's working for you, you keep doing it. So, I felt compelled to do this, even though it's been a long day for me. But when you're in the man cave, time is a variable. So, What time it is now is really not important. I had the realization that I still have far to go on my journey, but I would really be ungrateful if I did not pay it forward. So therefore, for this video at least, I'll cease with the high-powered psychological nudity and hardcore analysis on myself to share with you some of the wisdom I have obtained from my journey, because that is really the whole point. I mean, you can see the struggle documented. I need to also share with you the fruits of my labor. You can see, yes, it's a hard road he traveled, but damn, what he learned. And it is my fervent hope that you find something in this presentation useful on your own journey towards enlightenment. So, this is the first one, and as always, it's a work in process. Later videos in this nature will be under the banner Sifu, the House of Knowledge. I almost called it the House of Wisdom, but then I realized, well, the act of gaining knowledge, yes, a lot of people can do, but wisdom, yes, that is a rare quality sometimes. And that is something that you have to develop on your own. So, I figure House of Knowledge is good. So, have you ever thought about where enlightenment comes from? I found out that, when I was married, you can't even perceive order when you're in the middle of chaos. And I was with a woman who treated every minor disturbance in the force, as it were, as a catastrophe. And since it was a catastrophe, it deserved a maximum emotional response. And I spent way too much time living in crisis mode. When you're constantly putting out fires, it's impossible to focus enough to plan on the future. I found out when you're still, relaxed, and quiet, then you can achieve a glimpse into the face of the infinite. But it's not something you can just do once and take a little piece away and say, okay, I'm good. No. Perseverance is the key. Because tapping into something higher than yourself, not only is it not easy, but it is hazardous. So, you need to keep your head out of your ass and keep your shit wired tight at all times. Now, an encounter with the infinite like I have had and have documented before is certainly an impetus to spiritual growth. But, growth can occur when there's only internal motivation. It's not easy, but if you're one willing to accept the inner pain and take that solitary walk, It's worth it. Now, here's something for you to think about. No, if you feel kind enough, you may comment on this, but I don't expect one. What is the greatest, highest, or most powerful development? Think about that. And just a little note for you folks that are listening who are parents, especially the very young children. Remember, you are responsible for their spiritual development. Now, I remember, damn. Oh, shit. This is like a 40-year flashback. When I was in the Marines, I was a bad boy because I've been shaking hands with Mr. Green for a long time. And, had to go through drug counseling. And it involved going to a civilian center, which was in Los Angeles. They had an interesting way to mark people that had stumbled in their walk towards a life in sobriety. If you relapsed, they would shave your head. It didn't matter. That gender was completely unimportant. So instantly you could look and see, oh yeah, who fucked up recently, who has been a while, who is doing good. It was like, wow, it was stark. And that same day, we ran into a group of Hare Krishnas. And I can't remember. No, I might be conflating two deals, but it's like someone gave them a hard time about the spiritual upbringing. And he said, that's not fair. You're doing what works for you. I'm doing what works for me. You can't look from your side of the street and say, oh, you're doing it wrong. And it makes sense. Now, especially if you're a man, you need to remember this. You have a power that raises you above the beast of the field. You have the power to overcome your instincts. And I am here presenting myself as an example. I have done it myself. It is not easy. And it's hard to describe. But yes, I have, taken the byproducts of raw emotion and made them work in my favor. Now, I've mentioned Robert J. Ringer before. He has he's written those books, and in the Winning Through Intimidation, he says, when he decided, I'm tired of having my ass handed to me, I'm gonna get my shit wired tight, and I'm gonna take the world by the balls. He said, there's things he had to do. And the bedrock of his reorganization was what he called the theory of reality. He said, acknowledge reality as it is, or it will automatically turn against you, basically. Now, for me, the reality was Being married for 32 years left a lot of memories. Not all of them were painful, but too many are. As part of my walk in the path of solitude and reflection, those memories are fading. I noticed this a while back, and it was kind of shocking because I tried to focus in on some specific event because I was like in the red pill rage and trying to document it, I guess, so I could accurately report it in my, in my video rant. But it was blurred, and if you're old enough to remember old school VHS tapes in the VCR, if you did a fast forward, you'd see the picture, but it was so quick you couldn't really focus on anything, and you couldn't hear any sound. And this is happening to me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, am I having early onset Alzheimer's? But for some reason, I thought of something that happened when I was a teenager, and the memory came back so sharp and clear. It was like I was there, like, what the fuck? So, I didn't really revisit that until very recently, and this time when it happened, the easiest way to have you correlate this is to give you the visual from RoboCop 2. Now, you remember Robo, he's bona fide, he's out there, chewing bubblegum and whooping ass, because that's what he does. Meanwhile, the corporation, well, they're trying to make extras. So, out comes the first replacement. It's not the same body as our hero, and you can see the human leftover's head in a little chamber up, about head height on the robot chassis, and it's like inside a little box. And he comes on and he makes his little spiel. You are under arrest. All of a sudden he grimaces, and then there's a short circuit and there's smoke, and he snaps like a dry twig and starts shooting people. I swear that's what happened to me. I experimented. I formed a memory of my son. And it was hazy, but it was there. And suddenly, an image of the ex-wife was there, and my brain literally short-circuited and shut down. It would not complete that thought. And it's like... And now you're probably saying, well, geez, this crazy motherfucker sounds happy that he's gonna lose half his life of memories. Well, you know what? What's behind you is not important. You need to focus on your goals. There is no reason for you to look in any other direction than straight ahead. Traveler, I have to admit that I sure have a whole lot more I could rant about, but I'm learning discretion is the better part of valor, and I really don't need to abuse my guests. I am more than happy to have you here, but I know if I rant too long, you're liable to stay away. You know, I appreciate that you folks stop by to check in on an old crazy guy living by himself. So I will calm down now. I mean that. Oh, believe me, there is plenty more I want to say, but that will wait for another day. So I tell you what, my friend, I wish I could share this rum with you. Rum isn't really my drink, but you know, one of my acquaintances gave me access to a little, so I'm sipping and grimacing and bearing it. So, my friend, please remember as you continue on your journey that one of the keys to fulfillment is to leave your ego aside and to channel the infinite. I have done it before. It is possible. And, my dear friend, as you continue your journey, remember, I still say some of the best days of your life haven't happened yet.